Personal finance content has existed on YouTube forever. The same old information produced in the same old way, nothing new. And then comes a channel that refreshes the niche. What you're seeing right now is the new way information is being packaged and delivered, and it's consistently working. Nick Invest launched around 5 months ago. The channel has uploaded over 139 videos and has grown to over 120,000 subscribers and gained over 9 million views by breaking down investing, money, and wealth topics using simple animated explainers in the Family Guy style. And then just a month ago again came another channel, but this time they did a presentation upgrade and an audience expansion. Bob Invest launched and kept the same financial animated format, but changed the character style, palettes, and branding. Most notably, switching it to a black character. In a short time, the channel has uploaded 41 videos, grown over 65,000 subscribers, and gained over 2 million views. When you line these channels up, the pattern is very clear. The success is coming from the format. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire process, showing you how to build your own version of these pages using AI and my workflows, which makes this process super easy. So the first thing you'd want to do is come up with a name for your channel. That's very important, but that part is also very easy. What you notice, all of these channels use a name. For example, Nick Invest, Nate Invest, and also Bob Invest. So all you'd want to do is pick a name and put Invest after it, but you'd want to check to see if that name is available when you're creating your channel. So in my case, I could create a channel that says Monique Invest if I wanted to. You could just make up some names, or if you really want to, you can come to ChatGPT and ask it for this prompt. Give me names for a faceless channel following the pattern name invest. Make them masculine names. And if you would like it to be feminine names, then you'd say make them feminine names and hit enter. Just like that, you're able to get a plethora of names you could utilize for your channel. So for this channel, we'll go ahead to take the Kevin Invest. So the second step would be creating your character. Now, when you look at all this page, we could tell just right off the bat that these are Family Guy inspired characters. And to create your own character, what we're going to be using is Nano Banana. So in order to access it, you can come on over to openart.ai. I'll leave the link for it in the description below. And then once on OpenArt, you want to click where it says image, and then you want to click where it says create image. And then on this page where you see it says model a character, you want to click switch. And then we're just going to use Nano Banana. I find it works fine. You don't need to worry about using Nano Banana Pro for this. So from here, you need to get a prompt to utilize. I've already made a prompt for you. Don't worry about it. What you'd want to do is copy this entire prompt, and then you'll come back on over to OpenArt, and then you're simply going to paste it in. From here, you also need an Omni reference, which is going to be a reference of these characters, so that should utilize. So you could go ahead to screenshot any one of their actors. For example, I took his character. I just took a screenshot from his thumbnail, as you can see here. Click upload. Then you want to be sure to set sizing as 16:9 because it is the size of a YouTube video. When it comes to number of images, you could generate as many as you want. Often I just keep this to 1 because the prompt is really good. You're not going to need much variation. From here, the next thing you need to do is adjust the prompt so you could get your own unique character. Do not just copy these people's characters. Do not make the exact character I make your own. So click where it says open up these fields, and you're going to scroll down to where it says character attributes. Try to edit this as much and make it as specific as you can. The more specific you can get, the more unique your character will look. So when it comes to gender, I'll just space this out. I'll say male. Age range, I'm going to say in his 30s. Race and ethnicity, I'm going to make him African American. Hairstyle, I would want it to be shorts, black hair. Outfit, I'm going to try to be as specific as I can with this. Black quarter zip with a gray undershirt with black jeans and white Converse shoes. Glasses, I would say I want him to have glasses, yes. Expression, I'll keep it to natural. Now, something else, it's not in my prompt, but I'll add it in. I'll just say face features. This is where I could really get advanced in order to explain his face. I want him to have a very short black goatee. And you could keep defining more. If you would want him to have freckles, if you want him to have a mole on his upper lip, whatever you want to do, try to really create your own unique character so they don't just look like precise copies. From here, all you need to do is click create, and then it's going to begin creating your character for you. And now when it's done, let's click to see what we're working with. Our character is done exactly the way we asked for it. So once your character is done, you need to download it. So go ahead to download it as a PNG. You could also favorite it so you could have it in your setup. And that's how easy it is to create your character. Also, I will be leaving the link for this document in the description of this video. The next thing you need to do is get ideas for your channel. What video ideas are you going to be posting after all? There is a prompt that you can utilize lies that yes, I will be giving you. When it comes to ChatGPT, you could always ask a simple prompt like this. And if you want, you could add something in here, maybe make the audience be middle class and then click send. And just like that, you now have 30 video ideas you could choose from. Now you have your video idea. It's time to generate the script for your video. When it comes to creating a script for your video, there's actually 3 ways. The first way is the way nobody really does anymore, where you come up with a script yourself, write it in a Word document, come up with your flow, be completely unique, and see what happens. The other way, which I promise you every single YouTube automation person does, is they take script recommendation from an outlier video. You want to understand how exactly do they go about writing their scripts, and you want to utilize that. And then that leads you to the 2 ways you could use AI to create the scripts. You could access my script generator, which you could access within my community. Then it's going to ask you to paste in the title and the script of your outlier video. So now it's going to tell you that would you like the dissection to be used to provide a new outline in the same format. Keyword, same format. We're not copying, we're adapting. Go ahead to now take your video idea, which is the idea we got previously, and then you're going to paste it in. And now from here, you could go ahead to further adjust your script to make it as custom as you would like. So then it goes ahead to tell you the skeleton he used in his video, and it breaks down the whole skeleton format. And then following his skeleton, it now gives you your own skeleton based on what you asked it to put in there and what your own video idea is about. From here, you could actually use this information to script your own video from scratch if you want. You could have my script generator finish this full process for you. You would tell it you want it to expand on one section at a time. So it says start with hook. All you need to say is yes. And now it's going to go ahead to create your actual hook for your video. And every time it does a section, all you need to do is copy it. You're going to come on over to a Word doc or wherever you have your script written, and then you simply just paste it in. So you want to keep doing that back and forth till you have your entire script created. For those of you who perhaps don't want to join my community or don't want to deal with any of this, then I also have a prompt for you. You want to come on over to ChatGPT, and then you want to ask it this prompt. Now, this prompt is highly detailed using the structure that these 3 channels actually utilize for their scripts. And where it says video title, what you would want to do is you're going to go ahead and then you're simply going to copy that same video title, come back on over to the GPT, and you're going to paste it into that section of the prompt and then hit enter. Now, if you do want to, you can go through this prompt and make a bit of changes, maybe changes under the tone, changes within the structure, even the rules. You could adjust this prompt so it could be your own. And then just like that, ChatGPT will go ahead to generate the script for your video. But the one thing I do need to emphasize, whenever you do have your script created, no matter if you created yourself, you created with AI, you definitely want to adjust it. So what I would do is I would read through this entire script and then I would adjust this in a way where I believe it is to my best potential output. The next thing you need to do is generate the voiceover for your video. In order to do this, what you want to do is come on over to 11 Labs. Link for it will be in the description below. Now, once on 11 Labs, you need to select the voice you'd like to utilize. You can go to where it says voices, and then there are several voices to choose from. What I do suggest you do though, if you notice in the channels in this niche are utilize more natural sounding voice, don't go use a cinematic bass driven voice. It's not going to work. It's going to be too different. You don't want to reinvent the wheel. You just want to do what's working and keep it up. So I'm going to come on over to 11 Labs, and then I'm just going to go to the filters, and then I'm going to say I want it to be a male's voice. I want it to be, I'll keep it to any for now, and then I want it to be a bit more informative and educational. Let's see what we could get from this. So after you go through a bunch of voices and you find the one you want, all you have to do is click add it onto your library, add to your voices. I am going to choose Dan because to me it sounds the best. And then from here you can begin creating your voiceover. So where I like to create my voiceovers is I like to go into where it says studio, and then I like to create new blank projects, audio projects, and then we could go ahead to title it. And then from here, you can actually copy your entire script and paste it into 11 Labs. When you utilize projects, it's the best place, in my opinion, to edit your voiceovers. And then from here, as you can see, it has my voice clone as a default. So what I would do is just highlight all of the voices and be sure to select Dan's voice. And then I'm going to set Dan's voice as the default voice so that when I do go ahead to add in another line, it's not going to use any other voices. And then you can also adjust the actual text that's there as you're listening. If you notice some parts sound too slow, some parts a bit too dragged, to make the voiceover sound a bit more variant. And from here, as you can see, I've gone ahead to edit the way my text is written out so that I could get a more engaging version. And then I've also adjusted the different settings of my voiceover. You want to adjust it a bit, play your audio, adjust it a bit, play your audio, till you get your voice the exact way you want it to sound. But from here, all you need to do is export your audio. So in order to export it, you click where it says export, and then you would keep all these settings the same, and then you click export. And then once it's finished exporting, you'd be able to download your voiceover. So the next thing you need to do is actually create the visuals for your video. What are people going to be looking at? In order to do this, you are going to be using AI. There's two ways you could go about doing this. I have created a simple prompt that makes it easy for you to use. You want to go ahead and copy this prompt. And then you could come back on over to ChatGPT and then you will paste in the prompts. Then it's going to tell you to paste in your scripts. So you could go ahead to paste in the script that you generated. You don't have to paste in your entire script at once. I actually recommend you paste in piece by piece. And then it will go ahead to tell you the part of the script it's making a prompt for. Then it tells you the image prompt. And then it actually gives you an animation prompt that you could use. So in order to generate this, what you'd want to do is copy the image generation prompts. Come on back over to Nano Banana where you have your character generated. So what you want to do is delete your previous prompts. Ensure this is clear. Paste this in. You want to remove the original one as the Omni reference. And then you're going to use this guy as your new character reference. And then you're going to click Create. Make sure all your settings are the same with the YouTube video consistency. And then just like that, as you can see, Nano Banana has now created your image using your character reference. And then what we can go ahead to do is actually animate this image. So what I would go ahead to do, and from here, you want to click where it says video. And then you want to click image to video. So once here, you want to select the right model to utilize. For me, the model I like to use is Kling. I would click where it says select model and then click Kling 2.6. And then I would take my image from the generation history, which is the one we just generated, and click confirm. And then this is the prompt from ChatGPT that it gave us here. I copied it. And then I'm just going to paste it in here. Duration, you could keep it to 5 seconds. And audio, you could put it on or you could keep it off. I rather keep it off, just to make your generation cheaper because the difference between 150 versus 75 credits. And then from here, you just want to click where it says create. And then when it's done, here is our video outcome. The treadmill belt moving, but the man stays in place. Now, the thing with this prompt, if we zoom in and we take a look at the treadmill belt, it's kind of hard to see that it is or is not moving because there's no lines or indication, but the guy is in place and he looks tired. So in terms of output, it's not bad. Or if you'd want to make it better, then that comes down to your image generation or editing your prompt to get more specifically what you're looking for. I advise you don't regenerate too many times if your outcome is good enough, because that's how you burn through credits quickly. Something like this is more than enough. Something like this is great. From here, you would just download your video and then you would go on to generate your next scene. What you would do, you would go back on over to the image generation section and then you would go on back over to your GPT. You'd go for the next line. You'd copy the image prompt, come on back over to Nano Banana. You adjust your prompts, and I suggest, yet again, reading through your prompt and editing it and making sure it is exactly the outcome you're looking for. Keeping him as the Omni reference, go ahead and click Create. And now you can see we have the results generated. And then from here, you would do the same process to animate this image. Now, the other way you could go about doing this, which is my preferred way, is by using my visual style recreator GPT. You'll find this in my community. What you want to do once on the GPT, you want to click where it says begin, and then it's going to tell you to actually upload 5 to 10 screenshots from the YouTube video whose visual style that you want to replicate. So for example, I would go ahead to click one of Nick Invest's video. And then what you want to do is actually just drag through his video and then take a few screenshots, like I said, about 5 to 10 in different scenes, different settings. Keep in mind, you don't only have to keep this channel. For example, if we go on over to Nate Invest Hacks, if you notice, his styles is a bit more advanced. He has more backgrounds. He has more scenery in his styles compared to Nick Invest, who keeps that white background. So perhaps if I wanted more of this type of style, I would go ahead to just screenshot again about 5 different clips of this and utilize his style for my video. So you get to choose which visual style that you prefer. So then once you have those screenshots, all you need to do is come on over to the GPT and upload them in. So now here it's going to ask me, would I like to use the same style or modified version? So here you can go ahead to adjust the notes. You could tell it exactly what you want it to change, how you want it to change it. You could be very specific to make this not just a copy. So what I'm going to do is be sure to have the download of who my character is. And so I have that downloaded as a PNG. All I'm going to do is upload that screenshot of my character. So I'm going to tell it to use this character, keep the style the same as the references, and do not generate captions on the images, because you notice how all the images have captions on it. You want to avoid this problem before it happens. And then I'm going to click enter. So now it's going to ask me to provide the first section of my script. I'm going to copy in that first part of my script, and then I'm simply going to paste it in and hit enter. Then I'm going to choose my output frequency. I want it to be per sentence. And then I'll put in brackets, skipping fillers. Hit enter. So now it's actually going to generate an extremely detailed prompt that you could use on any image generator if you would want. And it's going to give you the animation movement for that image. So from here, you could edit this prompt or you could tell it to generate the image. And now as you can see, the image has been generated. Keep in mind, the style is not an exact copy of this. Pretty much have our own unique style, but within that realm of things. So from here, I could tell it next scene, and then GPT is going to give me the prompt. So from here, you do the same thing. You tell it to generate the image, it generates the image for you. If you didn't like this image, if you don't like what the scene is saying, you could just tell it what you would want your scene to show, whether that is him working, whether that is him doing whatever to match the scene better. GPT will generate you that prompt and generate you that image. And you could just keep doing this till you have your entire script done. If you don't want to generate it in GPT because perhaps you don't like the way the images look, you feel like the consistency isn't that great, then you can also take that same information and generate your images in Nano Banana using the same prompts. With the character reference, you would receive an image like this. So whether you want to create your images using Nano Banana and the precise character reference, or simply use the reference GPT gave you, and in order to animate this version, what you would do is simply click where it says download, come on back over to OpenArt, and the exact same way that you animated those images that we just did, you'd follow the same steps. And then once you're done animating it, just as how you download the images, it'd be the exact same way you go to download the videos. And from here, you want to keep generating your images, and then you want to keep downloading your videos until you have everything done for your entire script. Now you're down to the last part. All you need to do is edit your video together. In order to edit your video, you want to come on over to whatever video editor that you use. I specifically use DaVinci Resolve. Once in DaVinci Resolve, what you want to come on over to is the edit page. You want to go on over to where it says media pool, and you want to import all the clips that you created and your voiceover. And then once you have that, the first thing you want to do is add in your audio into your timeline. And from here, you'll notice the little gaps and the spaces. If you want, you can cut them out. In order to do this, you could use the cutting tool, or you could use a keyboard shortcut, which is Control B, just like this. And then I'm going to delete it and delete the space. So that way it flows better. And then once you've gone ahead to cut out all the blank spaces, all you now need to do is get the clips in order of how they come on screen and place them into the timeline. So we know the first clip that we utilized was this one. We click onto it and drag it into our timeline. And then we play the scene so we know how long we should adjust the clip to stay on screen for. Then you go ahead to add in the second clip. And that's what you want to keep doing. You want to keep playing your voice notes, adding in the scenes where they belong, adjusting them, and keep doing this till you have your entire video completed. So then once you've gone ahead and added all your clips and adjusted them to the length of your voiceover, from here you can go ahead to download your video. I've taken a look at all these videos and they don't tend to use background music, so you don't need to worry about it. And maybe you can if you want to update your clips. So in order to download it, you want to go to where it says export, and then you want to go ahead to name your file, and then you'll choose a location for where you want it to be. And then you could keep everything else the same and click add to render queue and render all. And that's how simple it is to create and render your video. And now something I do want you to keep in mind is that all of these pages tend to have the captions at the bottom of their videos embedded into their videos. So this would be something you'd want to add into your video. Now the thing with the video editors, on DaVinci Resolve, utilizing captions is on the paid plan of DaVinci, and most people also use the alternative as CapCut. It's the same thing. You do have to pay on the pro plan on the software to be able to use the auto captions feature. So I'll show you how you could go ahead to do this using CapCut, as it is cheaper than DaVinci. You could come on over to CapCut and import your video, and then from here you would add it onto your timeline. And then from here, what you would want to do is go on over to where it says text. You want to click onto auto captions, keep English selected. You could click none, you don't need that. And then once you've clicked generate, as you can see, the captions are done automatically and it's auto synced to your audio. So from here, you can go ahead to edit your captions, the look of them. For example, make it a bit smaller, make them bold, give it a bit of an outline, make it bigger. If you wanted to, you could also utilize different templates. You could add some animation into it. Just ensure when you're making whatever edits you're making, you ensure that apply to all is always selected. And make sure you just go through all your captions to ensure that they are correct. If anything is wrong, you could click onto it. It'll open up the text box where you could edit the caption. And then once you're done, all you need to do is click where it says export, give your video a title, and then just make that the title of what your video is about. Keep it at 1080. You don't really need to change anything else. And then click export. And when you're done, you'll find yourself having a video like this.
You're doing everything right, but somehow you're still darn stuck. You work, you get paid. You relax for a moment, and then the money disappears. Not because you're reckless, not because you're lazy. It just goes, like water slipping through your fingers. And the scariest part? Most people think this is normal, just adulthood. Earn, spend, repeat. Until one day, you're magically okay.
And that's literally the entire process from start to finish. When it's your first time doing this, of course, you should expect it to take you a little bit more time. But as you get the hang of it, you can create videos within 2 to 3 hours, which is typically what it takes me and my team to create videos like this. So if you want to join my community, click the link in the description because it is a limited community. So you can get access to all of these different tools, softwares, and courses that I've created for you. But if you want another faceless channel idea that you could get started with today and get your channel monetized, then I suggest you check out this other video on my